Actually?
Yeah. They're like following us with their headlights off.
Pentagrams and stuff.
Oh my god. They're stopping. Should I start the car?
Yep, yeah, they're getting over.
Did you guys hear that? Did you hit our car?
Originally, we weren't even planning on doing an investigation. It was a pretty quiet night. There wasn't really any activity, but Spike happened to come by and we thought, you know, we hadn't done an investigation in a while, so we might as well make the most of it. We had her upstairs in the bedroom. That's where we typically get most of our activity with Thomas. And then we had Brian in the basement, because that's typically where Shadow is. I was originally gonna go in the basement, but I kind of chickened out because I don't know, it's a dark, spooky basement. That's where Shadow is most of the time, and he does not like women very much. So I was in the dining room. You know, I had the GoPro and the spirit box, and I was just kind of waiting it out. I then helped Brian set up, and so I was the last to start recording. So after a little while of not really getting anything, just kind of sitting and talking to myself, I thought I saw something through the detailed glass on our front door. And it looked like a dark shadow figure. So when I saw this figure pass by the detailed glass on our front door, you know, it was not quite right in front of me from where I was sitting. And it was really dark. You know, I didn't see a lot of detail because I wasn't focused on the front door. You know, it wasn't the center of my attention. But I've never seen Shadow, like the shadow figure, for myself. He doesn't like women. He doesn't show himself to me. Every now and then, he might leave, you know, some of our drawers open in our bathroom. Or, you know, we have this little bin where we keep our ghost equipment, and sometimes that opens on its own. But he's never shown himself to me. So when I saw Shadow, it spooked me. You know, especially because I was supposed to be in the basement where he typically is. So for him to venture out and intentionally show himself to me, it felt very intentional, because I didn't quite believe it because I've never seen him before in all of the time that he's been around Brian. I waited, I pulled up the GoPro and just kind of waited till a car drove by. It was quite clearly different. You know, the car had these bright red lights and you could hear it driving by, whereas the shadow, there was nothing. So that made it more real for me. After everyone came together, you know, the timer was done, I told Brian and Spike what I had seen. And I went outside. I walked about as fast as I thought I'd seen the shadow go. And I had Brian go outside to reenact it, just for some reference of size and to make sure it's actually what I saw. And Brian's shadow was not nearly as dark. You know, it was still there, but it just didn't have the same feeling to it. And even though Brian's 6 feet tall, he was a little bit shorter than what I saw. After we went upstairs to review the footage and just kind of see if the camera caught anything that we didn't in the moment. And that's when we realized, within a minute of me seeing the figure pass by the door, Spike was asking.
Are you outside?
Within a minute of her saying that, I saw the figure. And we lost our minds over that. That was a really big deal. He kind of, I guess you could say, made himself present to both the females in this investigation, which is not like him at all, which made us question, you know, what we actually know. Do we know anything about this shadow? Has everything he said up to this point been a lie? Is he just getting more comfortable? You know, with paranormal, you don't know anything. You think you know something, you don't. You really don't. So even though there wasn't actually a whole lot of activity, what we did catch was insane.